For those that don't know, O1 is exceptional talent. So your celebrities, your rock stars, whatever, pros, PhDs, that's the brain drain. H1B is we can't find anybody. Can we get someone to run our bar who comes from, insert whatever country? A lot of the tech companies abuse this. I'm curious, Rep Massie, your thoughts as, you're in Congress.
I have a foreign accent on my voicemail and my maps that narrates for me in my Siri. When people call up, they say, why do you have that? I said, it's a H1B voicemail. There's just some jobs Americans won't do. They won't record my voicemail for me. But anyways, I think it's like a lot of things. It's well-intended and it gets abused. When I was in business, I had a software company. This was 25 years ago. We had one person who was there on a visa at my company. I didn't really, HR hired him or whatever. I remember probably signing something to help him get his visa renewed, but he wasn't taking anybody's job. He had a certain competency in computer-aided design that was hard to come by. As an engineer, this is my background, engineering. I don't feel threatened. You're going to have centers of excellence in Canada, for instance, where people come in and build great things there. But I'm absolutely certain it's abused at this point. So the answer, and by the way, just one other thing, I think what the mandate in this election was to stop illegal immigration. I don't think there was a mandate on H1B.
Okay, what I was about to say. Okay, and I'm deadly serious now. Okay, deadly serious. Would you hire me, Tim? Would you hire me, or anyone else who's watching us? Would you hire me to any kind of? Yeah, exactly. If there would be a job you think after this an hour or so that I could do, would you hire me? If you would think that, wow, this guy is good in talking and presenting, I don't know, selling, relations, whatever it is, would you?
You would be,
because I'm Polish.
Yeah,
right.
You would be an O1. You are a unique.
I'm Polish. I'm a foreigner, right? Mm-hmm. I know. I can bet there is many people who would be ready right now to hire me. I'm happy to cooperate with everyone. When I was in London, I had this conversation with English lady, and she went, if your plumbers and builders would leave England now, our economy would collapse. This is what she says. So the whole thing is, it's about getting migration programmed in a way that you don't have illegal migration. He's trying to, I'm not defending the whole idea, but there is a huge difference between Dominic being in London for 5 years, paying his taxes, and then coming back to his homeland, working and serving to his people. And I do understand that he meant people who will come for 6 or 10 months, just like I did. I used to work on the cruise ships as a student. I've done my contract and I went back home. So I think this is what we are talking about, not about taking jobs. And I think that we are talking about the situation when your unemployment is close to zero, right? We're not talking about a situation when you have 7, 8, or 9% of unemployment in US and getting people. No. When your unemployment is close to zero, just like in Poland, it's 2% thanks to our government.
Wow.
2%, the lowest in European Union. Then you can think about quality migration for some time, 6 or 10 months.
I heard you say a statistic that 95% of the people who were immigrating into, what was that, Great Britain?
Yes.
Didn't pay taxes. I would assume every one of these H1B visa holders is paying taxes. So the argument, that's a good argument you made, but I don't think it applies to H1B.
But a waiter? Yeah, I mean, there are young people out here who can train to do that job, that need jobs, that feel that they're being left behind.
Well, I've been in restaurants where the waiter is making probably close to 6 figures and supporting a family, and he's been in that restaurant for 20 years. I'm usually not the one paying for the meal. I don't choose these places, but go to Joe's Seafood down here in Washington, D.C. There's several guys who've supported a family and put them through college. That's a different category. I think that's what Trump has been to restaurants like that, and we have.
I understand.
Yeah, I've
been to these steakhouses, and you have waiters who are professionals. They can tell you about every wine from every region and the
Right.
difference. But a 20-year-old American man or woman can train for that.
Of course.
And I think
course.
the challenge right now for Gen Z especially is they feel like they're struggling. It's hard to own property. They're seeing illegal immigrants. I know no one here is in favor of that, but they're seeing benefits given to illegal immigrants. And then on top of this, an argument being made, even by Trump, that if you want to be a waiter, something that you can go and get trained for over a period of a few months, we would rather bring someone in from a different country than give you those skills. But Connor, you wanted to jump in.
I was going to say a couple of things. First of all, I mean, Dominic, you're an absolute gentleman, as is my good friend Ayaan Hirsi Ali from Somalia, but we don't set our broad immigration policies for exceptions like yourself or Ayaan Hirsi Ali.
True.
There's a great example of the Polish plumbers and builders stuff. They were great compared to the cohort we've got now, but we still had to house them. So all the houses they were building, they also required the
True.
infrastructure. So
I do agree.
Yeah, so that's a comment about the volume.
Yeah.
But there's a comment about cultural proximity.
Yeah, I'm about to. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say an economy is just the aggregated activity of a people in a place and a time. So their culture feeds into what that activity is most likely to be like. And so if you mass import people from countries which are not very economically active, you can judge by proxy their culture is not very good. It's probably not very proximate to the United States. And so even if they're coming in and paying large volumes of taxes, it still feels like a transitory population
100%
charge. You
agree.
don't know your neighbors, and
Yeah.
so it doesn't matter how skilled these waiters are. If you put in 100,000 Indian waiters, that's still
It will
100,000
harm
people
you.
you don't know.
As Ian begins to get up,
Different ways.
do y'all know the origin of the word economy?
Go for it.
Oikonomia,
Oh, oikos, yes.
household management.
You know, I was thinking before I go, last thought is that, like, I don't know, man. I got mixed feelings on this immigration because, in one way, if someone's born in the U.S., this is kind of like the idea of stripping away birthright citizenship. Phil Abonte's about to jump in. If someone's just a scummy, not useless, a horrible thing to say, but just like they eat really horrible, they're lazy, why would we prioritize that guy just because of where he was born over the really talented, brilliant Polish dude? It doesn't make any sense to me. I feel like, sorry, buddy, if you didn't try, you don't get it because you were from here. So I mean, that's kind of my mixed feelings on this.
But does that make
importing
him,
people.
does his laziness make him less of an American if he can trace his founding back to the Mayflower?
Technically, no. Technically, if you're born in the country, this might change. Technically, if you're born
It's
in the country,
changed.
you get all the. Yeah, I think merit. Bye, everyone. Have a great night.
What
is
as we- as we bring it-
guys?
But the whole discussion, as I said, I think the whole discussion should start when your unemployment is close to zero. If there is an unemployment in your country, this discussion should not even appear. You have to take care of your own people. If they need training, provide your training. If there is no money on the training, make money as a government responsible for the money on the training. Train your people, get them jobs, and then think about growing. All we know that bigger country, bigger society is more taxes, more opportunities. Look at China. Look at China. The way they're dealing. Look. Why? Because of the volume. We all know that. But as I said, if there is no unemployment, then you can discuss it. If there is even a small, slight anyone without a job, this discussion should not take place. That's it.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.